All right, what is going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, May 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with all of you guys. Stevie76, what's going on? I got my daughter in the background. She's doing some origami today, so there she is right there. I don't know if you guys can see her, but she'll be hanging out. And if you hear some talking in the background, that is my daughter's. She has like an origami instructor that's doing live streams and stuff right now, and so that's who she's hanging out with a whole bunch of her school friends, and so they're doing that. So she's been doing a lot of that, and the baby's now found the waffles and eating waffles out of the fridge. She's gotten to the age with pandemonium in our house right now. She's gotten to the age where she can just like help herself to stuff that's in the snack bin, like not like the snack tubs and like the fridge and all the cabinets and stuff. So like she'll just go around and she will just help herself to whatever she wants to eat. All right, I got to take this off because for those of you who can't see, I'm wearing on the podcast, I'm wearing an old Stormtrooper helmet from a costume. It's not an expensive one, it's just a cheap one. But I wore it, me and my buddy, we got matching ones a little while ago. And we decided we would run a race, and we ran the Chicago Winter Half Marathon, the F3 Half Marathon in these. And so we figured, it was going to be a cold day, running a half marathon along the lake in Chicago. Let's really cover our faces. So we decided we would get these. So we ran a half marathon in these. Why did I buy a costume of armor? Because it's awesome. Look at this. Isn't this so cool? You don't like this? You like this? I like it too. I think it's fun. So that's what I've been wearing today. Today I was gonna set up the mukbang for today, do the Monday mukbang, but I think I'm gonna move it to tomorrow just because today's a Star Wars day. It's okay. Just because it's a Star Wars day, and I didn't want to like combine the two things necessarily, so I thought I would do that. What she's doing now, I think she's doing what she sees me do on the live stream, and she's pointing her finger in the air. But that's how I scroll through the comments, and I don't know if she realizes that's what I do, but she sees me do that all the time. And right now, I just think she wants to be on camera and see herself. So that's what she's doing. So let's see who's here. We got CV76 in here today. George Zag says, aha, this is amazing. Prestige says, may the fourth be with you all. Daniel M says, LOL, is that your new running mask? I've run in it before. So I ran a 154 half marathon in this thing in a January half marathon. So that's chip timed. So yeah, I think 154 is the time, or 149, somewhere in that area. So that's where it is. Vegan Goku says that's fire. But it's like this thing is definitely taking a beating. Um, so like I've dropped it a whole bunch of times, and like this little plastic shell is snapped and stuff. So I've been meaning to kind of get rid of it, but I thought I'd drag it out for one more time today. Joshua Payne says the COVID hysteria is real. I mean, it would. I mean, I suppose it qualifies as a face covering, but I mean the vent. It's like there's openings, like just holes in it for breathing. So I hear a buzz too. I don't know where it's coming from. But, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. It's coming from out the window. Are you cold? Yeah. I mean, maybe you should go. Daddy's hot, so I need the window open. So if you're cold, maybe you could put some more clothes on. Okay. My mom's here. Hi, mom. How are you? Gaki CGKDD says, yo, what's going on? Um, John Bright says, hello, Kofuzi. AJ Munt says, would you recommend the Alpha Edge 4D Star Wars for lifestyle shoes? They're okay. I mean, if you can get them cheap, and I think now you can get them cheap. All right, you can do this if you want. You want to scroll up on the comments. I think if you get them cheap for like under like basically like half price, then I think that it's okay as a lifestyle shoe. It's fun to wear. I get a lot of attention whenever I wear them, and they're pretty comfortable. I wear them like when I travel, like to the airport, and like any time where I know I'm going to be on my feet a lot, because they're pretty comfortable for that. The knit upper is pretty comfortable, but there's a lot of overlays on it that don't make it quite as comfortable as probably any of the other Alpha Edge 4Ds. But it's a fun shoe to wear, so I like it for that reason. Um, let's see. Dokutagarin. Dokutagarin. I always feel like I say it wrong. Dokutagarin says, hello from Adri, Alberta, Canada. Greg says, welcome to the dark side. Yeah, I'm definitely a dark side person. I've always been. I always thought the dark side was way cooler, both from the Sith Lord side and also from like the Imperial Stormtroopers. think that was like much cooler. Today I'm eating gummy bears, so I guess it's kind of a mukbang Monday today. Um, Vegan Goku says, Mike, you look like you lost some weight over the years. Want to talk about it? Yeah, I mean we can. I don't really make a point of it. I don't really like make that an emphasis of the channel. For me, I when I before I started kind of picking up running again this last time, because I've really been on and off running over the years. I was probably about 180. I'm about 5'10" and 180 pounds. And now I'm still, 5'10", but I'm closer to 145, 140, depending on where in like a marathon training block I'll be. But like just general times, I'll be about 143, 145. And that's kind of where I've like leveled off. So I think that's where I am. But like I just ran a lot and I ate to fuel the running. And like naturally when you're running a lot, you tend to clean up stuff on its own. So I try not to like I never try to like run to lose weight or diet to lose weight, or combine running with like restricting calories on a diet. Um, I just ran to run. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Is it good? Oh, it's not. Is it still live or what's going on here? Mm, I think it is. It still on? Is that it? Okay. Um, And so I just kind of had the, sorry for everyone listening along, my daughter had a problem with her live stream that's going on. So there's two live streams, one streaming and one being streamed in our household. So hopefully the internet holds up. But so I just kind of did that. And, you naturally clean things up. Kind of like, you're running a lot. If you have a big run on Saturday morning, you kind of don't want to go out and like eat chicken wings and like booze all night on Friday. So like that kind of like cleans up your diet quite a bit. If you're thinking about like what's good fuel for your body on your long runs, you're probably also going to start thinking about what's good fuel for my body when I'm eating lunch. Granted, I still eat out lunch every day, but I eat less of like fast food for lunch, and I eat more of like nicer fast food, I guess. I don't know if it actually matters or not, but it feels like it matters. I feel better when I eat that kind of stuff. So yeah, so things kind of naturally kind of clean themselves up. So like, let the running be your guide is kind of what I did. Um, is it good to eat rabbit food for endurance running or just eat for calories? John Bryan asks. Well, there's an Instagram account that I follow called Rabbit Food Runs, a vegetarian, I think she's vegan runner. She's a coach over at Edge Athlete Lounge here in Chicago. And I think that if you want to eat vegetarian or vegan, you certainly can, and be an endurance athlete. I am mostly plant-based. Pretty much just don't eat like animals, but I will have milk, eggs, cheese, honey. Bigger. Your hair grew bigger. Are you okay? Right there, just now? Okay. Are you all right? Um, so I mean, is it good? I think it's great. But I don't think one has to. Um, and I don't think it hurts anyone either, as long as, just like with an omnivorous diet, you watch what you take in. Daniel M says, probably not a common occurrence in downtown Chicago, but have you had scary animal encounters on a run? I ran past a snake last week, and my BPMs went to threshold levels. I see a lot of rats, and they usually scare me because they're usually scared. So like I kind of like sneak up on them a little bit. And so lately I've been seeing a lot of rats. That's pretty normal for me, and I don't think that rats really aren't like if you spook it, it'll pounce on you because it doesn't like being scared. Not like a rattlesnake. Sorry, we dropped a candy. So like rats are just gonna run away. They're not gonna like. I mean, I guess if you really cornered it, it might try to like scratch its way out, but it's gonna try to run away first. I see a lot of bunnies in Chicago. Um, Recently, there was a coyote on the loose in Chicago, and it attacked a whole bunch of people. Um, so that's something that's happened. And coyotes is like a somewhat regular thing. It's enough that it makes the news when one is sighted, but it's not so. It's not like if someone said like a mountain lion was found in Chicago, that would be really weird. But a coyote, it's like that's unusual, but I've heard about it happening before. But that's why I also like really freaked out when I go other places where there is like regular wildlife, like wildlife, not urban wildlife. Then I'm really scared because I'm aware that animals exist in the places that I run, and I usually tend to run really early in the morning. where even like the nocturnal animals are kind of going to bed. Um, let's see. Daniel187 says, hope you keep the stash. I think I got to trim it. I did trim it a little bit because it was getting real long, so it's a little bit uneven. I need a mustache trimmer. And I might get rid of these like wings because I think it's just too much going on. I ran with a mask on today, and it just constantly felt like it was rubbing in a weird way. Stevie76 says, would Nike be the same powerhouse it is now if they didn't get Jordan? Like, what if Nike could only get shoe deals with the likes of Cream, Malone, Olajuwon, as LA Gear did? What? Something's up my nose? It's my mustache. Is that okay? No, nothing up there. What? That's hair. It's part of my mustache. It grows from my lip and kind of connects into my nose a little bit. Anyway, sorry, the baby, I guess, has like only really looked at my mustache like now. Um, But I don't think so. I think that having Michael Jordan in the '90s was pretty monumental for them. Um, it was a monumental moment for sports, the NBA in general. I think to have like Michael Jordan at the time that it did have it, um, and so I think that it wouldn't have been the same. I don't think NBA would have been the same without Michael Jordan there. So I think he's like pretty like important figure in American culture. And I guess in that sense, global culture as well. So, yeah. Okay, they're in this one over here. There's more coming. Oh, there's eight of them all. Eight all the gummy bear. Um, Tanya Lee says, Pegasus 37 received. No, I don't have any. Louis Becerra's here. The girls have been decorating. There's balloons everywhere. Kai Smithley says, Michael, what would you say is the best all-around trainer for a cross-country season? I want something affordable. I would go for, if you want something really affordable, I would go for something from last season. And so best all-around trainer for a cross-country season, I might look at the Clifton 6, the Rincon, because that's going to be, it's got so much foam in it and there's so many deep grooves in it. Thank you. What are these? Oh, hearts. Hearts with wings. My daughter did make an origami and she made some penguins. Okay. So I think those are good. I think the Pegasus, like the 36, if you got like a year back, that would be a pretty affordable way to do it as well. Solar Boost 19, I think would be a good choice as well, just because like those outsoles are pretty grippy for when you're running on like light dirt and grassy routes. I don't know if you need trail shoes for where you run cross country, but if you do, then that kind of changes the recommendations up a little bit. Blaz Grabnar says, have you ever tried Strava Roots? Really awesome. Posted a comment on the new video. I haven't really tried it. Like any segment. What? You want one of these? Yes. There you go. All right. So I haven't really tried any of it yet. I think that I'd like to because there's a way to do that on the watch where when I get close to it, it'll let me know that I'm close to it. So I might start uh, just checking it out to see kind of what the user experience is like. Baz Grabner says, look at Rich Roll's book. He gives you a good look at vegan endurance athletes and stuff. Yeah, I listened to his book. And so like a lot of the stuff that he talks about, it's interesting how he talks about it, but then like a lot of it doesn't really translate well to audio format. So a lot of it's in like an appendices in terms of like charts and recipes and things like that. But there's a lot of useful information there. Daniel M says, somebody get Sage Canaday in the chat. That, yeah, I mean, he definitely can talk very much more fluently about the dietary needs and the ability to be a successful endurance athlete on a plant-based diet. Vegan Goku says, have I tried the Hoka Speed Goat 4s? I have not. I've never run in a Speed Goat before. They're beautiful looking shoes, but I just think that they're more trail shoe than I generally need. Um, Doku Dagarin says, thank goodness Alberta is rat free. Is it really? Or are you just saying, is that a joke? Because I can't imagine it's rat free. Stevie76 says, I saw a bunch of rat roadkill at the New York City Marathon. That's funny. Um, I love New York, but it is a dirty city. I think it's because it's an older American city that doesn't have really space for alleys. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have space for alleys for garbage pickup, and so short sleep. Yeah, I am hot though. And so like, in the mornings, the garbage is piled up on the sidewalk in like little mini mountains of garbage. I just think that's disgusting. and it leads to large puddles of garbage water, which is why, like in New York, I would not run through water. That's gross. Josh Payne says, any update on the new Hoka shoes this year, mainly the Rocket X's? Really looking forward to those this summer. I haven't heard anything on the Rocket X's in terms of release dates. People keep saying that they see them on the website in like very, very limited quantities here and there. But every time I go to look for them, they're not there. So like, I don't. Kurt Steve says, how big are the Chicago rats? I've seen some pretty big ones in New York. I saw a pic of a coyote walking down Michigan Avenue. Here we have a ton of foxes running around Princeton. That's interesting. The Chicago rats, I mean, I used to work in biomedical labs, so I like compared to those rats, like wild rats or like urban rats, are really small and skinny. Although there's one in the neighborhood that's really big. I feel like I recognize it because it's like so unusually big as a rat. It's well fed. But they're pretty small. They are like about the size of like guinea pigs or like small, like bigger than hamsters, but smaller than like like a jet. Like what is the? There's ones that are like really puffy round ones that are guinea pigs and ones that are longer. They're about the size of the longer ones. Smaller than a ferret.
The bottom of my chin is still prickly.
The bottom of my chin is prickly. I'm sorry. Martha says, hi, everyone. Here in the mountains, we see black bears, but they're usually scared of people. What I'm really afraid of are mountain lions on the trail. I avoid dawn and dusk for that reason. That's terrifying. That's really scary. When I did the Ragnar relay up in the Tetons, um, everyone was like talking about like and asking me if I brought bear spray, and everyone kind of said it in a way that I couldn't tell if they were joking or not, like if I actually needed bear spray or not. I didn't have bear spray, and then people were saying like, "Don't worry, with this Ragnar relay, we're making so much noise that there's no way a bear is going to be anywhere near us." And then like in the middle of the night, there was like warnings from like the Ragnar organizer saying like there has been a bear sighting. And it was a night during all the night races, or the night legs, and everyone was like, "Hope you brought bear spray." And one person on our team did bring bear spray, so the people that ran at night did run bear spray. It's an actual thing. Um, Kai Smithley says to have a ton of coyotes in SoCal. I didn't know that. Kevin Santana or Elliot Kipchoge or Kenenisa Bekele, who would win in a 16:09 meter race? I think Kipchoge would win because it's in a shorter race. He's a couple of years younger, isn't he? I think he's 2 years younger. So for that, I'd give it to him. Plus, he's just got the swagger right now. So that's who I'd pick. Flash Grabnar say, didn't Jordan want to sign with Adidas, but they didn't do it? I'm not aware. But someone was tweeting today earlier, like it must have been something in like the Last Dance series, because someone was saying today, like, can you imagine if Jordan had signed with Adidas and Nike? I think it would. It's like I wanted to tweet back with like a good Kanye gif, but after a while, I was like I couldn't find one that I really liked, so I was like, yeah, I'm over it now. But yeah, that would have been pretty weird. Because like, what was Adidas marketing like in the '90s? I don't even remember. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Anyone remember Adidas from the '90s? I don't. I don't. I mean, in the '90s, I was mostly obsessed with basketball, and so that's kind of what I was looking at. I did, run track, but I wasn't. It wasn't. People didn't look to track athletes and marathoners to see what shoes they were wearing. Like everyone just looked at what the basketball players were doing. So that's all kind of what I remember. John Bryan says, maybe silly, but when you run Boston, is your mindset to get a PR or run relatively fast for you, or just run to be happy you've made BQ? For me, I mean, I think it depends on when Boston is going to happen. I've never run it before, so you know, it depends on if there are other marathons before that and what those other marathons how they end up. I'd like to just go and have a great day and run a hard marathon and really kick hard at the end and feel like I'm just coming down Boylston, giving it everything I got. And I don't want to be like kind of like walk jogging the last 10K. So that's kind of like my main goal. Just have a good solid showing, even if it means that I maybe on a better day could have had a faster time. Just kind of play it conservative, but run hard. Derek Dixon says, "May the fourth be with you, Kofuzi." What's today's live stream topic? I didn't really have a topic for today. I did start off the day wearing my my stormtrooper helmet um, in honor of May the 4th, and so I just thought I'd do it that way. Um, every once in a while, there is someone who's been like kind of trying to troll me a little bit on YouTube, and he has a Star Wars themed like username. And so I always reply back with some sort of Star Wars reference. So that's been kind of entertaining me a little bit lately. So I've been having fun with that. But other than that, there hasn't been too many times where I can cross over with Star Wars references on the YouTube channel. I would like to do one of the Star Wars half marathons though at Disney. I think that'll be a lot of fun and something that I could do. Um, once those races pick up again and once like Disney World opens up again. My wife and I have been talking about it. We would really like to go to Disney World again when it opens, because they're gonna like cap capacity. So like when you go, Disneyland or Disney World will be at like 25% capacity or 50% or something like that. And I'm just like, lines are going to be short if you can actually get a ticket and get in. I don't know how they're going to manage that or how it's going to work or whatever, but we're like thinking about it. But like it's also kind of like we'd have to get on an airplane to do that with the kids, and it seems like a lot of like risks to go to Disney World. And then at the same time, it's like one of the girls' favorite things to do is to like go and get their pictures taken with like the princesses and stuff. And so it's um, like how does that even work anymore? If like does like does Princess Belle wear like a face covering when you meet her, like these days, or I don't even know. So it'll be interesting to see what Disney World looks like. Um, yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, Mrs. Kofuzi, and that's. Oh, okay. I think she was back there. Um, let's see. Kirsty, oh wow, she says, since have you given your local rat a name since you mentioned it today? I say you should call him Jabba. All right, we'll call him Jabba from now on. I've seen him like the last 3 days in a row. He's a big one, and he's in the area. Um, he's quick though. He's quick on his feet. He's nimble. Um, let's see. Kiefer Vacation says he has the Rocket X on order, and they were supposed to ship the 28th, but that passed. And now nothing. That's a bummer. Okay. Um, let's see. Keyforcation also says, curiosity got the better of him. He's heavily invested in the Garmin ecosystem, but he's going to give the Grid X a try. I think it's a good watch. I like it a lot. I think the price is still kind of expensive, 429. I mean, that seems like a lot for something that's not a smartwatch to me. But like, I mean, I'm not the most rugged individual of runners, and I'm not multi-sport, but it can handle anything that I can throw at it. So I've been enjoying it so far and been still trying to test it, still trying to kind of like break it, figure out where it doesn't like work well, what are its limitations, but we'll see. Um, Stevie76 says Adidas was really dysfunctional by that time when we talk about the 90s. Um, According to Jordan's agent, David Falk, they said, "Look, we'd love to have Jordan, we just can't make a shoe work at this point." Yeah, I mean, does Adidas have basketball shoes? I mean, I know they do now, but did they at the time? I mean, although I guess like look at the original Jordans, they weren't exactly like they're basically like high top SB Dunks. They aren't exactly a great basketball shoe. Wang Shishi says the park path that he ran on has monitor lizards, otters, monkeys, wild boars, and wild dogs. It's like a jungle in the city. That's crazy. Whoa. Um, that's weird. Super Small says, "Hey, how does running with a face mask compare to a buff gator?" Um, yeah, so the last 2 days I've been running with like an actual like not a face mask like an N95 or not like a single-use disposable, but like hand sewn like cotton masks. So I've been running with those on, and I've also been running with neck gaiters because those are things I just had around, and it took us a while. My wife and I bought a whole bunch of stuff online from a variety of different sellers. I'm going to put together a video of it. I didn't want to do that, but since a lot of people have been asking, just to kind of review there's a couple different styles out there, some that I like more than others. But that video will be coming out in a couple of days. But um, I when it's colder out, I prefer running with the neck gaiter because it's a little bit thinner, but you also get some warmth from it, so that's nice. Um, but it is thinner and it's easier to run at faster paces for me when I'm breathing a little bit harder with a thinner neck gaiter. Um, at slower paces, the face like mask is nicer. It doesn't cover the back of your head, so there's your like if it's warmer out, like your heat's coming out the back. And some of the ones that I've had have fit on my face in a way that I feel like I have more like room in this area, so I can breathe a little bit better. Depending on how thick the material is, though, when you start running a little bit faster, it might be harder to breathe because then you're not getting like the breathability aspect of it. You might have more volume here, but there's not a lot of airflow. So it's like it gets hard to breathe a little bit. But I keep my face covered the entire time just because I never know if I turn a corner, someone's going to be there, or sometimes like maybe I'm running past a bus shelter, and maybe I didn't see that there's someone sitting in there, So I just want to make sure that I'm always covered up um, when I'm running by anyone or anything. And so um, I've I've been fine with it, but I'll put together a video of like the couple of different styles that I like. The latest one that my wife bought, I really like, but like I was running a little bit hard on it for like about a mile today, and that got hard to breathe in because it's cotton on one side and then like almost like a denim type material, not like jeans denim, but like a denim shirt kind of denim on the other side, so it's a little bit thicker. Um, that got hard to breathe in. There was some that like have inserts that you could put a filter, like either a coffee filter or they came with like an extra layer of cloth to use as a filter. So it's been fine. I like those. And I just feel better covered up. I don't know, maybe it's a placebo, maybe um, it's not doing anything, but it makes me feel better. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, Super Schmold says regarding Adidas in the 90s, it was all about soccer. That's kind of what I remember too. Um, yeah. Um, Martha says, I'll personally just be happy to finish Boston in one piece. Yeah, I mean, for me, after watching, like, I've watched like the from 2014 to 20, was it 2019, the Boston Marathon's like all in one week. And so, like, definitely you got a sense of like how like rough that course is on people. Yeah, definitely looking to hopefully just finish. Let's see. Daniel M asks, "What's everyone's favorite running movie?" And Kai Smithley says Prefontaine, definitely. Um, Daniel M says, "Which Prefontaine movie?" He says he just watched the Jared Leto one, which is a great flick. Um, Kai Smithley says the one called Prefontaine. Basically, he's running story. He's played by Jared Leto, and he's much better as Pre than the Joker. Yeah, I mean, his story is interesting. Just because it ended so tragically, but like so like appropriately, I guess. Not that anyone's death is appropriate, but like he died as he lived is a kind of way, I guess, is a polite way of saying it. But I don't think I have like a favorite running movie. I'm trying to think if I do. Um, yeah, I mean, I like Ginger Runners Where Dreams Go to Die. I thought that was a good running movie, but I don't think that's kind of what. Or maybe that counts. I don't know. Yeah, Luis Becerra says about Adidas in the 90s versus Nike in basketball shoes. They weren't doing very good and didn't want to make the design for a basketball shoe that would cost them a lot of money. And that's why they didn't do it. Yeah. Um, Kurt Steege says the Adidas Adastar spikes from the 80s were his dream shoe. Always wanted a pair, but could never afford them. Remember the meets? If you saw someone in them, it was like, whoa. Interesting. Cool. Cool. I don't remember that. By the time that I was competing in meets like in the 90s, yeah, all the spikes were Nike spikes as far as I can remember already by then. Um, Everyone kind of trained in Asics and then raced in Nikes as far as I can remember on the track in high school for me in New Jersey. Um, let's see. Yeah, Kirsty said at Disney, when it does open, at least Jasmine all set because I guess she could have a face covering on. But I don't think that the Disney character for Jasmine does have a face covering on. When you meet Jasmine the princess, I mean that is like the girl's favorite thing to do. Is they like to go. You wait in line. I don't know if everyone of you have done it. It's really strange, but you wait in line for a long time, and then it's your turn, and it's just a photo op with a woman that's dressed up like one of the princesses, and then like they talk to your kid for a little while, and then like if you have an autograph book you can like get it signed and they'll sign it and write a little message to your kids. Do you like that? Do you like See, meeting the princesses? Yeah, see, it's fun. I know the girls like it. They like it more than a lot of the rides. And I feel like, we can go ride a ride, like lots of places. I'd rather go meet the princesses and the other characters that are there. One of my favorites is like the Beauty and the Beast experience at Disney World, where you get to go and the kids get to take part in like a little mini play. That's a lot of fun. Um, see what else we got here. Sorry, I got sidetracked by like Disney talk. Um, Stevie76 says, "Where is Han Solo?" The following year, after my buddy and I did the Stormtroopers, he got injured, and so he couldn't run it. And so I was gonna run it as just as Darth Vader. And so I bought a Darth Vader costume, and of course I wanted to test it out to see if I could actually run like a half marathon in it. And it was very early on a Saturday morning in January, and I was gonna go for a run and my wife saw me in like the all black costume with the mask on and everything, and she's like, "You cannot go outside right now and run like that. Someone is going to think that you are trying to attack them because it's just like all very very dark." And in Chicago in the wintertime, by the sun is probably still not even up usually by the time I'm done with my Saturday long run, and so like it would have just been really dark the entire time. So she put the nix on that, and then which is probably the right thing to do because I probably would have really scared someone, I think. Um, but that was when I was going to do. And that year, I think I just ended up running, and it was like 50 degrees out that year. It was really warm, and I ended up having a marathon PR. And then since then, we've been trying to get to run it again, and we haven't run it. Last year, we did run it together again. It was 14 degrees out. We didn't run in costumes, but it was a year that we wished we had. The costume that I wanted to do was like Han Solo, were on when they're on Hoth and when they're riding Tauntauns. So that's what we wanted to do for the costume, but we just didn't get our stuff together in time. We always wait till it's too late, but that would have been super fun to do that. Um, Jacob says, I discovered your channel when I was researching the Salomon Predict RA and saw your review of them. I ended up buying them and I think they're okay. Awesome. I'm glad you'll enjoy them. Martha says, I just ordered a summer specific neck gaiter from REI that's also shorter, so less extra material. The company's called Buff. Yep, the cooling ones have special treatment to the fabric as well. Yeah, I think that Buff has a pretty good summer line coming up this year. So they should have a lot of stuff that's good for more like for like dust and UV than it is for warmth. So it's supposed to be lighter materials that are in there. So I might take a look at some of those as well, Martha. Just because I think that we're going to need face coverings in the summer months, which would be really weird um, for sure. Um, Vegan Goku says, "Where's Mrs. Kofuzi and her thoughts on the stash?" My wife is really nice, and she will never tell me that I have to do anything. But like she has very periodically said, like, "So you still have that mustache, huh?" Okay. So she'll like make comments about like, "Oh, mustache is still there," that kind of thing. So I don't think she likes it at all. Um, I'm thinking maybe if I give it a trim and get rid of some of the catfish part of it, then maybe she'll like maybe if I just do this, then maybe she'll feel less grumpy about it. But we'll see. Um, Chris Ferris says less of a serious running movie and more about what running can do for us mere mortals. What movie was that? Um, Prefontaine and Without Limits. And thought Brittany runs a marathon on Amazon Prime was charming as well. I haven't seen that one yet, but since it's on Amazon Prime, I'm pretty excited. I want to check it out. Um, I think that'll be an interesting one. We could all use a feel-good movie right about now, I think. Um, Kirsty says, speaking of Adidas basketball, I think the original Kobe shoes were Adidas. Were they? I didn't know that. Interesting. Let's see. Jody Run says, I came across a podcast to do with gut health that you may be interested with your current running issues. Inside Running Podcast 21. Let's see, with Kate Smith and sophomore Ryan, gut health. I'll check it out. I don't know that it's necessarily a gut health issue, but I think that like I got it. I've had some bathroom issues. Today was another day where I had a bathroom issue. You want to come in here? Yeah, there you go. um, my daughter is wearing the Stormtrooper helmet now, but I'll go check that one out. I do occasionally listen to the Inside Running podcast, but I did not catch that one. Race, the Jesse Owens movie was awesome. I'll have to check that one. I've heard good things about that one. Nathan N said, made it back from the run in time to meet up. He said, how's it going? We're going good here. We're just hanging out. put on some of our Star Wars costumes. Um, I had big hopes this year of a big May the 4th run. I was gonna, um, I'm saving it. I won't tell you what it is, but it required me running through downtown Chicago, like around all the tourists to do it. And so since I couldn't do that this year, I'm kind of really bummed about it. But it was going to be kind of fun. It was going to be something that was going to take a couple of runs to do. So it was going to be like a composite kind of um, run, but it would have been fun. It was going to be kind of like my Santa run that I did before, but something else. So I'm bummed that that didn't work out. But next, it gives me more time to plan for next year, something bigger and better for next year. Let's see. Kirsty says you have to go on a birthday too. Everyone says happy birthday to your kid. I have two girls. I think we're talking about going to Disney World. Have two girls as well. One that is great is a princess breakfast in Norway. Seemed to be easier to get picks. We've never done the princess breakfast, but that's something that we definitely want to do next time. One of the reasons why we love Disney World so much is because of my daughter's peanut allergy. And they do a really good job of accommodating all different kinds of food allergies. God bless you. And so that's one that we really want to do. A lot of the times, places we go, we can't participate in a lot of things because of peanut allergy or cross contamination concerns. But Disney World, pretty much everything that we can usually have some sort of accommodation in some way. And the princess breakfast is something we definitely want to do. Plus, I just love breakfast. So um, Anthony Cardella says, "Have you ever met up with Ginger Runner or Gary Robbins?" I did a live stream with Ginger Runner a while back. That was super fun. It was great to that he could spend some time with us here. I did it on Instagram. Gary Robbins, I've tweeted, had some tweet conversations with him, but other than that, I haven't ever met him or talked to him before. Stevie76 says, "Where's the droid?" Yeah, I would love to have a droid. Oh, we have a droid hat somewhere around here. Where is that one? It's a BB-8 one. Can you get that? I'll put it on. It's not a real BB-8, but it's just a hat. But Cody Davis says, just got here. Sorry for being late. No problem. Missing yesterday. Did watch the video of the day to catch up, though. May the 4th be with you. Awesome, man. Did his run in the Han Solo shirt. Very cool. Nathan N says, a good. What's that? It's the white one with the orange. It's around the droid one. Do you know where that one is? Where did that one go? Um, Yeah, that's cool. The mustache trimmer is a Philips and Relco one blade. Yeah, I'm looking for one. I was looking on Amazon for different ones, and I was like, well, maybe I could get one that's just like a mustache trimmer and a set of hair clippers because my hair is just getting so long. And then the search got like too like laborious, and I gave up. But I do need to like do something a little bit. Because this is getting out of control. I tried trimming it, and I'm not doing a good job. Uh, Joshua Payne says, thanks for the rec on Ali on the Run podcast. Listening to two of them on the long one this weekend help pass time. Yeah, I just listened to a couple of them recently, and it's good. I don't always listen to Ali on the Runs. Um, you can't find. I don't know. I just saw it the other day. It was hanging on something, on like a hook or something. I'm not sure where it is. If you can't find it, that's all right. I'll take a picture of it and show it to you guys. Um, but yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks lately. I'm trying to listen to Once a Runner, the novel on audiobook. And I'm having a hard time with it. The person that is really big on the book is Tim Rossi and of Lost Boys fame. And he was talking about he always talks about it and he was recently talking about it on a podcast that I was listening to, so I was like, all right, I need stuff to listen to. I'm going to listen to that book. And I have having a real hard time with it. And I messaged him about it, and we've been having lots of conversations, like book club level, like text back and forth, like what part of the book are you on? Well, I'm at this part. He's like, you got to keep going. It gets better than that, like let me know when you get to this part, and we'll talk about it. So it's been funny, but like it has like little nuggets of really good stuff, and then like it's interspersed with lots of other parts, but I'm just not loving it so much. I think a big part of it is the narrator, like the voiceover person, is I just having a hard time with the person who reads that audiobook. And so it may be a book that I need to actually read, but I never actually read. So that's what it is. Walden H says, how do I get up so early? I go to bed early. Um, Late to the party, took a long walk and had no idea to pace your recovery walk. I think if you're doing a walk for your recovery, like in between days of running, I would say walk at a comfortable but a little bit of a brisk pace. Just something to get the heart rate moving a little bit. So like if you're, I wouldn't say like get out there and speed walk and pump the arms necessarily, but I'll get there and walk. And again, you're focusing on time and movement out there rather than like a distance or a speed. So like as long as you feel like you're getting the heart rate up a little bit, then I think you're doing it right. Um, let's see. Vegan Goku says, planning on reviewing the Clifton 7? Yes, when it eventually comes out, I will. Cody Dave says, Gary Robbins is a legit psycho. Well, anyone who runs the Barkley is. I would say probably yes to that. You have to be a little bit crazy, or maybe a lot of bit crazy to run that race. Kai Smithley says, why do I prefer a higher offset shoe than a lower? Because personally, I have a very prominent midfoot strike, and I feel like it's easier to do that with a lower drop, like 5 millimeters. I don't have a preference for it. The shoes that I like tend to have those higher offsets to it, the heel drops. So that's why I kind of like, to the extent that I feel there's a connection between the performance of a shoe and the heel drop, usually I tend to like ones that are in the 6 to 8 millimeter category. But like, um, a lot of times, like I try not to look at what the heel drop is in the shoe before I run in it. And then I run in it and I try to guess what the heel drop is. And then I look up the number. For some shoes, like it's hard not to know ahead of time what it is. Like if Pegasus 37, I know that's going to be 10 millimeters. Brooks Ghost, I know it's going to be 12 for whatever reason. They're still going with 12 millimeters for the heel drop on that shoe. Kinvara is going to be 4. Like those I know are going to be that way. But I always other shoes I try to go in blind, and I usually kind of close, but probably wrong as much as I am right. So I don't necessarily have a preference, but there seems to be some sort of correlation to it. Daniel M says, Kurt Steve says, Once a Runner is the best book for running, especially if you were ever a track runner. If you just always did road running, it wouldn't hit as hard. Recommend the Incomplete Book of Running by Peter Segal. Um, Interesting, says Natalie. To Natalie D. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Fukiloska. So I'll have to look at that when I've ever read it. And Kurt, yeah, I could definitely see where it's more for track runners. I just find the book really patronizing. Um, and it's uh, feel like it's from a lot of times I feel like the author is explaining to me things that the author should be showing me and showing me things the author should be explaining. I don't know if that makes sense. It just feels like it's always backwards. There's just like these random meanderings to explain things that I don't think need explanation, and then like glossing over things where I feel like that's the part of the story that we should be elaborating on. It's almost as if someone like went back and said like, hey, pick these 17 points and like pick a couple of more points and elaborate without being very like specific on what to elaborate on. That's my critique on the book so far. Daniel M says, listen to Running with the Buffaloes while running. It was great. Yeah, that was a good book to run with. I have some issues with that book, but listening to it running, my main issue to it listening to it running is at the beginning of every chapter, there's like a listing of like race results. And so you hear like a name, a time, a name, a time, a name, a time. And that goes on for like 2 minutes at the beginning of every chapter. So that was like really off-putting. And I was like, I really wish they could just show me or like find a way to like narrate that better. I don't know how you narrate it better, but that's what I was looking for. All right, we're getting close to end of comments, but we've been here for a while, so I think I got to get going soon anyway. Um, let's see. Martha says, Running with Sherman by Chris McDougall, who wrote Born to Run, is entertaining. I listened to him on a podcast with Lindsey Hein when he was trying to like do the rounds on that book. And I thought that was a really fascinating podcast to listen to. And he's an interesting guy. I think he's a little bit crazy as well. But I guess a guy that like tries to track down Caballo Blanco has got to be a little bit crazy, right? So definitely a funny person. Kurt Steege says, okay, shoe question after your comparison of the Brooks Tempo and Skechers Razor. How would the New Balance Rebel compare? The New Balance Rebel, I think, fits and does the same thing as those other two shoes, but because it's a different kind of foam, it doesn't necessarily like stack up in terms of like similarities, except in like use case. It does the same things, it achieves them in a different way. And the fuel cell propel feels more like a traditional shoe with a traditional foam in it that responds like in a traditional kind of way. but it's a fast shoe. It's bouncy and springy, and I really like that one as well. That's another shoe that I'd like to get some more miles into because it's been a while since the last time I ran in it. So there's a lot of pretty good like fast-ish day shoes that are out there right now, like not quite marathon racers, not quite like half marathon racers, but not your daily trainers that are fitting in that category. I feel like there's a glut of really good shoes in that category right now, so it's a pretty good time. All right, give me 1 second here. I gotta check here. Um, okay. All right. So I think that I'm going to leave it there. We've been going about 45 minutes today, so sorry to keep you guys here a little bit longer than planned. I'm trying to keep it to 30 minutes so I'm not like dominating people's time and not like spending too much time on the internet because I'm already doing 2 live streams a day, and I just don't want people to get bored of me. So I'm going to leave it there for now. If you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram and the messaging there or on Twitter. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have there. But if you just want to keep talking and hanging out, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. on Instagram or 3 p.m. here on YouTube. And I'd love to talk to you guys then. Hope you had good runs today, or if you haven't gone out yet, hope you can stay safe while you're out there. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.